my name is Zeus Zapata, a writer for Healing Maps, and let's talk about using the power of light to look inside your brain while on psychedelics. Oh wait, you thought I was going to talk about using light healing and crystal powers and ancient astrological spells to do whatever? Nah, not here. Only sticking with real science at Healing Maps. If you want that other ridiculous nonsense, go elsewhere. I'm sure you've heard all the other brain imaging technology before, like fMRI and EEG being used to look at the brain in psychedelic studies. EEG is old. In fact, we're approaching its 100-year anniversary. However, just because it's old doesn't mean it doesn't have its place in psychedelic science. Don't be so ageist. Through the detection of electricity in the brain via little electrodes placed on your head, EEG has some of the best temporal precision in neuroimaging, which means it can detect exactly when something in the brain takes place and for how long. As far as exactly where this activity takes place, EEG is a little bit rough on the location. Finding the exact location of the brain where activity is taking place is called spatial precision, and unfortunately, EEG spatial precision isn't the best. When it comes to spatial precision, functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, shines above the rest. By using the magnetism of the blood in your brain, fMRI can see deep within the brain in spatial regions that are accurate by sub-millimeter precision. fMRI is how we've been getting a lot of our neuroanatomical data in the psychedelic science field, and mostly through the work of Robin Carhart Harris. But this video isn't about fMRI, it's not about EEG. We're here to talk about one thing, and that thing is fNIRS! fNIRS uses photons of light to detect activity in the brain, and it sounds remarkable because it truly is. Through optodes affixed to the scalp, fNIRS uses photons of near-infrared light and beams it into your skull. However, it's only deep enough to penetrate the top layer of the brain, just like little Star Trek phaser guns that can only shoot at an incredibly short range. And hemoglobin in your blood is like a sponge for soaking up this near-infrared light. Through this light absorption, we can see the location of blood in your brain, concentrations of blood, even whether this blood is oxygenated, which is filled with oxygen, or deoxygenated, which is not filled with oxygen. Being able to visualize where the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the brain is while on psychedelics can tell us a lot about how these substances impact the brain. The great thing about fNIRS is that it has better spatial precision than EEG and better temporal precision than fMRI. An excellent compromise. Sort of like the best of both worlds. So what has fNIRS revealed about the psychedelic experience? Well, not much, and most of that is due to it being one of the newest neuroimaging technologies. The technology is so new that, as of right now, you can count every fNIRS psychedelic study ever conducted using just one hand. Actually, just one finger. It was a study published just before the pandemic by the University of Zurich. These researchers wanted to get a general understanding of how deoxygenated and oxygenated blood shifts in the brain while under psilocybin, which is the psychedelic ingredient in magic mushrooms. So what did this study find? Well, it was a pilot study, which means it was seeking to confirm that fNIRS can actually detect shifts in cerebral blood flow while on psilocybin. The study showed that, in fact, fNIRS can detect these changes, which is revolutionary in psychedelic neuroscience. You know how I always open up these videos with that little weird graphic saying I'm a PhD student? Well, it's true. I'm actually at Maastricht University in the Netherlands. And in my PhD research, I'm using fNIRS to look at the effects of DMT on the visual cortex. That's right, I could be just the second person on the planet that uses fNIRS technology to see brain activity while under psychedelics. That's pretty wild. I gotta admit, there's a lot of ins and outs with fNIRS, and it's gonna take me a while to be a master at this brain imaging technology. However, my supervisor, Bettina Sorger, she'll make sure I get there, guaranteed. Pretty soon, I'll be able to reveal what I've discovered about the visual cortex in DMT using fNIRS. In the meantime, please share these videos with your friends and family. We need the views. Just look at all this fire content we're putting out. Help us spread the word.